Good morning. Thank you so much for attending our public go live ceremony for Text to 911 in Collin County. The North Central Texas Council of Governments is very pleased to be able to offer Text to 911 services to the citizens of Collin County. We are early adopters, so it makes the public education message a little challenging in that right now, it's Collin County and Wise County residents only, and only people who have service with a wireless provider of Verizon. So if you're a wireless Verizon customer in Collin County, then as of today, you can text to 911. Now, this is an interim solution. 911 is moving towards the next generation, as the sheriff mentioned. So we're ripping and replacing infrastructure. We're trying to meet the citizen expectations and provide the services that they so well deserve. So what we're doing today is launching Text to 911 with the Verizon Wireless Collin County citizens. And what this means is that in an emergency, when it is unsafe to call or when a citizen is unable to call, they will have the opportunity to text to 911 on their Verizon Wireless phones. So the reason, we had a couple drivers why we started this early, this technology. The FCC and the Department of Justice have been encouraging the 911 industry to implement this service for the past few years, and there have been some technical roadblocks. However, all of the carriers, all of the major carriers have committed to start offering this service within the next calendar year. So while Verizon Wireless is our only provider today, we hope by this time next year, we will have the other wireless providers participating as well. The reason that we took this step was primarily because we have deaf and hard of hearing citizens that today do not have equal access to 911. They have to use a TTY or a TDD devices for communications with that public. And that can take longer, and it's no longer the most common form of communication for that audience. Most people today, hearing, non-hearing, use texting in their everyday communications. So that was our first driver. The second was, unfortunately, all of the mass and school violence that we've seen in the last several years. Whenever you see a situation where there's an active shooter, it is unsafe to speak out loud to report that emergency. So we wanted to bring text to 911 so that people could call when it was unsafe to speak out loud. And the third driver for us was disaster situations where our cell towers are overrun and we're not able to get a call through, but you could get a text through. More than 80% of our 911 call volume is a mobile device. So it is very important for us to meet the citizens' expectations and to provide safety to all of our citizens. So that's why we're here today. Now I want to tell you guys a couple things about this interim solution. Because it is an interim solution, it's not the best of technology in that we don't know your location when you text 911. We have some very wide range indicators, but we need to tell our public that when they text 911, in that initial message, they should text the nature of their emergency and their exact location. We also want to encourage them not to use abbreviations, but to text in simple language so that there's no communication barrier with our 911 call takers and telecommunicators. And of course, we want to re-emphasize that although you can text to 911 as a Verizon customer, we still do not want you to text and drive because of the safety problems. So our message to the public is 911, call when you can, text when you can't. After today, the North Central Texas Council of Government staff will work with law enforcement, fire services, EMS, and our partners in public safety to provide public education. in the schools, the general public, all different audiences. But we wanted you guys to understand the technology before we do that, because we recognize that once this is announced, any of you may receive questions from citizens in your community. So this is an educational outreach for you. We are going to have Leanna Russell, who has been the lead on this texting project. She is going to come up and work or show you a demo of what the call takers will see when a text occurs.
To text 911, you do just like you would text anybody else, but instead of putting somebody's name out of your phone book, you just put in 911 into the recipient's area. You type in your message, you hit your send. This is actually the call taker screens that they see. My message shows to be sent. This is the information they get. You notice when Christy said our location is limited, this actually shows where the center of the sector or where the tower is. So again, our location is very limited, and again, this is an interim solution. This is the first step. This is just like when we just implemented wireless and we had no information. But we have great call takers and we have great public educators, not only through our region, but throughout our state. And I have no doubt in my mind that they will get the message across that the important things when texting 911 is your exact location and the nature of your emergency.
Thanks, Leanna. So I think this demonstrates that we have implemented a new technology for 911, but we still work with the wireless technology. And there will be instances, as there are today, when you're in a room or even outside and you don't have good service, you don't have enough bars, and you won't be able to get a text message through. And in that case, you will get the bounce back message that says text to 911 is not available. Please make a call or relay call to 911. You will also receive that message if you're outside of Collin County. This is for Collin County residents only, and that excludes the city of Plano, Wylie, and Richardson. Those folks are under a different 911 organization and entity, and they will be implementing in their own time frame. All right, so thank you for coming here in support of this new offering, and we'll hang around if you have questions afterwards. Thank you.